was a teacher doing art. Middle school and high school was my background. And I was noticing a need for mental health. And at the time, I was looking into getting my master's. More so because I needed a pay raise, too. I had been frozen at my level for quite a few years, and I decided to pursue furthering my education. And I wanted it to be something meaningful. As an art teacher, I was sometimes the first teacher that students told things to, or things that maybe they weren't telling other people, just because we had that opportunity in the classroom.
Yeah.
You know, we're working, talking, things like that. So I said, I'll pursue counseling because then I can help my students. Once I got my master's in counseling, I decided to just pursue that completely. It was more than I thought originally that I could do. And I wanted to specifically focus on kids and adolescents.
Yeah.
So I started doing that.
Tell us a little bit, and this is kind of off topic, but tell us a little bit about like how kids express their feelings through art. I think parents would love to kind of know what they're looking for.
Yeah, so even now, I still sometimes incorporate art in my practice, especially with younger kiddos. So sometimes children do not have the vocabulary or the way of presenting an idea clearly, and so they struggle communicating to either parents or caretakers or even friends. Through art, it gives them the ability to express themselves, how they're feeling, and let it out in a way that maybe is easier for them to do so. So like I said, even now, I utilize art as a way of children, even sometimes adults.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
can I do it?
Anybody can do it. Yeah, there's no restriction on age, but it allows them a way of releasing memories, emotions, and putting something on paper that maybe they wouldn't be able to otherwise.
Yeah.
So
I love that. So I kind of threw you off
yeah,
there
no,
with that
no, that's
question.
fine. Yeah.
So you got your master's in counseling.
Yes.
And how long have you been doing that?
So let's see, I graduated in 2012, so 10-ish plus years. And I've pretty much been everywhere. I really wanted to continue growing and learning. So I've been inpatient, outpatient, forensic, private practice, community mental. So yeah, I've been a little bit of everywhere, growing as much as I can, learning as many things. And now I'm at Ellie. I'm the clinical director there.
Yes.
And one of the best things is that I still get to practice counseling. So I do have a smaller caseload, but I also get to grow the next generation of counselors.
Yeah.
I am really passionate about taking care of people in our field.
Yeah.
Because I've seen so many people step away from either burnout, fatigue, just not being able to continue or needing to take breaks.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to create a space where our staff are taken care of, they know their worth, they know their value, and they can continue.
Caring for the caregiver.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Yes.
And so many of my audience are caregivers, maybe not licensed counselors, but mothers, you know, teachers,
Yes.
just women in general are often caretakers. And we are going to kind of talk about stress in the holidays and how do we make sure that we can have, you know, a joyous time, take care of our responsibilities, but also taking care of ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
So what would be, if you had to come up with kind of some top things, maybe 1 to 3 things that people should be doing, specifically I think caretakers, during this holiday season to take care of themselves?
Okay. Number 1, recognize that you cannot give what you do not have.
Ooh, girl.
So, and I've been there.
That is, woo, yes.
Especially with cooking the meals and organizing the family and making sure everybody has everything they need. I think sometimes as a caretaker, we want to make sure that we are doing it all. One of the things that I would suggest is delegate. Delegate. Being able to say, you know what? I don't have to cook all 15 courses of our family meal. Let somebody else bring the pie or whatever and contribute to that.
I love what you said of you can't give what you don't have. And then the second thing you were talking about.
Yeah, so the second thing I would encourage people to allow for break time. I think sometimes we get so carried away with making sure that every second of our holiday or every second of our vacations are jam-packed. And we want to maximize. And I've seen a lot of families do this where it's busy the entire time. Give yourself...
I'm guilty of that.
Yeah.
It's like when I come home from vacation, it's like I need a vacation from my vacation.
Exactly. And I've heard that multiple times. And so sometimes we need to remind ourselves a vacation, even if it's just a staycation with family or people visiting, allow yourselves to have downtime. We're watching a movie. It doesn't have to be anything grand. It's about spending time with people that you want to be around. It's about allowing yourself to relax and enjoy and take that in. Be present in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah. And one last thing.
Sleep. So, and I know.
Yeah.
Sleep is so important in just overall health. And I think so many people don't recognize the importance of sleep. And so similar to how we occupy our time and are busy, we get up early, stay up late, allowing ourselves to sleep, allow your kids to sleep. They're on vacation too. This is their vacation as well. And so sometimes adolescents, mine included, just want to sleep in on one of their days of their vacation, and that's okay. When we sleep, we improve our mental health, physical health, a lot of things. So that's important, making sure that you're getting rest.
I don't think the general population really understands how much sleep is important to your mental health, because we always hear kind of action type things. Oh, you should wake up early and exercise. You should, meditate. You should. So then you're trying to fit all of these action items into your, mental health journey. But if you're not prioritizing sleep, you're not going to be functioning well.
That's when your body heals. That's when memories get stored and processed. And so again, not just the sleep quantity, but then the quality of it as well. So making sure that those two things are taken care of. So.
What if you're at an event, over the holidays, and you are what we call triggered? Something is causing an emotional reaction in you. What would you say to people who maybe even know that that's coming?
Yeah.
Because, certain family members cause certain things for them.
Yes. So one of the things that I like to remind people of is don't assume or think that something will happen, but at the same time prepare just in case you need to take a break, walk away. Sometimes we find it more difficult to do some of those things if we don't practice it beforehand. So again, kind of have some preparation where at home, maybe I'm triggered by something, and so I'm going to prepare by taking breaks while I'm at home so that when I go visit my family, it becomes more of an automatic behavior. I know that if I just need to step away from a specific family member or a conversation is coming up and I feel like I'm back when I was 10 or some traumatic experience, being able to just kind of stop and walk away. Of course, we're going to come back, but at that same time, it allows us to reset. Make sure that we're feeling safe, maybe ground ourselves to the moment, kind of prepare ourselves to come back again.
One of the things that I talk about in the Mentally Strong Method is like organizing our thoughts. We often kind of know, oh, my mom triggers me, or, my brother's always saying mean things to me. And that's, and so then you have this anticipatory anxiety around those events. When we do a mapping session, we say, okay, what makes you anxious right now? What's made you anxious in the past? What made you anxious as a child? And does this impact your spiritual relationship? And so we ask these 4 questions to kind of get it all out on paper, so that then they can make choices. Because sometimes, like you're saying, making that preparation. And there's sometimes that maybe we need to make a choice that, I don't actually have to interact with this person. Or maybe the choice is, I really want to have a good relationship with my brother, but maybe I need to set a boundary the next time he calls me fat or whatever, right? And so being able to make decisions about boundaries and those kinds of things before, because we can only control ourselves. We cannot control others.
Exactly.
But sometimes controlling that reaction, I think especially for women, is internal. So we have a reaction, but use it and kind of turn it on ourselves, against ourselves, and then it turns into negative self-talk, and we know we shouldn't be talking to ourselves like that. And so the Mentally Strong method like just helps separate those things. This is negative self-talk. No, this is your brother's behavior, and you have a choice of whether you want to just accept it, set a boundary, or not speak to him. Like, you actually have choices in those relationships. And
I think that's great. Definitely important for people to recognize that they have that ability to choose. I think it gives us some power, some autonomy in interaction, so that we're not just walking in being a victim of something that we can't control, but rather knowing that we have the capability to do something about it if and when it happens. So that's awesome.
And you had talked a little bit before about delegation, and I actually had that this year. Usually I love to host. So when I do something, I just want to provide everything, right?
Yeah.
And Thanksgiving's coming, and it's kind of a stressful Thanksgiving for us. And all my kids are grown. I was just like, you know what? Hey, what are you bringing? What are you bringing to Thanksgiving? And then I can, figure out what's needed after that.
Right.
So
I
did a little bit of that myself.
That's awesome. Good job.
So, yeah. Any other tips that you would give for the holidays?
I think sometimes also spending time alone can be really helpful. I find that when I'm around a lot of people for a long period of time, me personally, just my personality type, I need to take breaks. I call it peopled out. There are times when I can't have any conversations. I'm not able to regulate anymore. I just need breaks.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes just having quiet times by myself, whether I wake up before everybody else and just have coffee, or I go for a walk on my own. That way, again, I can enjoy my family and not feel like, oh, I'm sick of you because we've been together all day.
Yeah. On that spectrum of introvert versus extrovert, where are you?
I am very much an introvert.
Okay.
Although people say, oh, I don't believe that. I can't tell because you are able to talk to everybody and anybody. I can, but it's also very draining.
Yeah.
And so introvert versus extrovert, it's not are we able to relate, but it's how do I recharge? And for me, it's when I'm by myself.
Yeah.
So,
and that's, I think, something that people should know about themselves, whether they, what fills your cup, being alone or being with people.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, I've always been kind of an extreme extrovert. I actually get attention from being around people. But if I don't take time to be alone, I still get that drain feeling. Like, extroverts still need to process alone, just like introverts still need to find people they trust to process with externally. So kind of knowing that about yourself and things like that.
And planning accordingly then.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up here, I want you to tell us a little bit about Ellie and what you're hoping to do here in Colorado Springs. And let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah. So Ellie is a franchise that came out of Minnesota. And so at our specific location, we currently have 8 therapists. So I'm really excited. We're fully staffed. And we see ages from 3 and up, different specialties, different needs. So it's great that we have different clinicians that can help with each individual person and what their needs are when they come in. And again, my main focus is taking care of the staff so that we can retain them, so that they can continue to do the work that's so important.
Yeah.
So
tell us about staff care. I know Ellie is passionate about not only taking care of their staff, but you have actually corporate packages where you go in and kind of help corporations take care of their staff.
Yes. So one of the things that we have started doing that I'm really excited about is connecting with companies that are interested in taking care of their staff, their mental health, mental wellness, and it's sometimes harder to encourage somebody to go somewhere and hope and expect that they're just going to schedule it. And so an option that we've started is to actually go to the place of employment and offer our services, pick a date, time frames, and allow people to sign up knowing that we're going to be there so they don't have to leave work. They just take a break, go talk to somebody, and then are right back at work. Of course, we always welcome people from the community because we also have another company that sends people.
Okay.
So they allow their staff to come to us and they cover all the cost of it, which is a huge saver and decreases barriers in having to use insurance, pre-auths, co-pays, all of those things. So yeah, they can come to us or we can go to them.
Tell us a little bit about productivity and mental health. Like, if we take care of our people, you know, is that going to give us some more productivity?
So absolutely. All the research out there right now says if your staff is feeling well, and we're talking total physical well, including mental health, then they're more likely to have higher job satisfaction, more likely to go to work and not have to call in a sick day or what people are calling a mental health day to recharge. They're going to be more focused, attentive at the job, more encouraging to each other, and just pleasant to be around. So overall quality of work and the amount of work, the productivity increases.
Yes, love it. Thank you so much. Any last words?
No, just thank you so much for letting me be on your show. I really appreciate it.